Welcome back to the Daily Briefing on this busy political day. Joining me now is Virginia Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger. She's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and it's great to have you here. And I want to get to some foreign policy, but could I just ask you about the news of the day, and that is former Vice President Joe Biden in Iowa today. Take a listen to a part of his speech just a moment ago.
I don't think it's naive. I don't think it's old-fashioned way of doing things that says the system has to be restored. I think it's time to, he says, let's make America great again. Let's make America America again.
Congresswoman, if I could get your reaction to all of this political news today and Joe Biden trying to draw a distinction between him and President Trump.
Well, I appreciate you playing that clip. I actually didn't see any of his speech. I was on the floor voting.
You're doing your job.
Ago. Exactly. But, I think the notion of strengthening who we are as an American people and standing up for our values. I was just with the largest congressional delegation in history at Normandy for the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And the overarching theme of that entire event was the beauty, the strength, and the resolve of the American people and our desire and the sacrifices that so many thousands of Americans have made to uphold our democratic values. And so the notion that we are a strong country and that we need to, make America America, I think that is, if what he's talking about is upholding our values and recognizing the strength that we have as a country and a people, then I think those are good comments.
Do you think it's unhelpful to Democrats trying to get things done in Congress for him to say that President Trump is a genuine threat to our democracy?
Well, I think there are so many presidential candidates, and all of them are saying any variety of things at any moment of the day. And so I think that most of us, because there is such a loud, massive amount of comments coming from the presidential field, that most of us are just focused on getting things done and working together here in the House of Representatives.
Yeah, we'll move on to foreign policy then. Let me ask you about the upcoming talks between President Trump and Prime Minister Xi of China. There's a big issue on trade and also about technology and concerns about national security. Take a listen to the Huawei Chief Security Officer this morning on Mornings with Maria.
At the level of national security significance, there was no evidence presented by the United States to Germany or the UK or other allies, because there is no evidence. There are proven risk mitigation mechanisms, as evidenced by Nokia and Ericsson, that can address the risk. And the DNI has said they can find the backdoors by testing. We're open to that.
Based on your background and expertise, where do you think the United States should come down on this when these talks happen in a couple of weeks?
So I think it's incredibly important, and given my background, I'm a former CIA officer, I think it's incredibly important that we focus on what risks may exist and that we have a clear idea of what our strategy should be to combat those risks. When we're looking at a company that does have strong relationships with the intel services and the military services of a foreign adversary nation, we need to recognize that that company may present challenges to us, and there are threats potentially of hacking information sharing or a general compromise of the security of Americans' information. To combat this or to address this, I have proposed a bill, a bipartisan bill with 2 other Democrats and 3 Republicans, a companion bill that was submitted by Republican Senator Cornyn on the Senate side, that would make it a necessity that we create a plan for dealing with the production of foreign 5G technologies to ensure that we are able to protect the American people and understand and deal with any potential risks that may arise because of those foreign-made components or technologies.
And can I get a quick comment from you just about this idea that Democrats are going to pull back the idea of a pay raise for members of Congress? Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is for that, but that is now no longer going to happen. Do you think that members of Congress need to have some sort of a raise in order to keep up with inflation, as she says?
So I was one of the members who signed on to an amendment that would keep that freeze in place. Back in 2009 was the first time that we froze those cost of living adjustments. It's been frozen every year. And I was one of the members of Congress, bipartisan, Democrats and Republicans, who chose to say, let's keep that freeze in place. And my position on it is it is a divisive issue, and there is a lot more that we need to be doing and delivering for the American people. And if we're talking about anybody getting a pay raise, at this point in time, it should be minimum wage workers, law enforcement, nurses, teachers, and we should fall last on the list.
All right. Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger of Virginia, we loved having you. Thank you.